If you want to have a good conversation in English, learn to ask good questions. Today I'll teach you 10 question words and then show you 100 examples of different questions using them. You can download this lesson as a PDF by clicking on the link under your video and entering your email address. That's a good way to review all the example questions and maybe create some of your own. All right, let's look at our question words in English and when to use each one. Use who to ask about people. Use what to ask about things. Use when to ask about times. And where to ask about places. Use why to ask about motives or reasons. Use how to ask about methods, ways of doing something. Use whose to ask about possession. Use how many to ask about quantity of countable nouns. And use how much to ask about amount of uncountable nouns. So now let's see examples of questions with these words, starting with who, which again is used to ask about people. Who is your best friend? Who ate the last piece of pizza? Who is the author of that book? Who will be attending the meeting? Who is responsible for this project? Who is your favorite actor? Who discovered penicillin? Who is the current president of the United States? Who is the CEO of Apple? Who can I contact for technical support? Next, 10 questions with what, asking about things. What is your favorite movie? What time is it? What can I do to help? What is the purpose of this meeting? What are you thinking about? What has he been doing recently? What should we do this weekend? What do you hope to accomplish this year? What are some of your hobbies? What do you do for a living? That last question means, what is your job? Or what do you do to make money? Now some questions with when, asking about time. When is your birthday? When does the sun rise in the morning? When will the new restaurant open? When did World War II end? When is the next lunar eclipse? When is the best time to plant tomatoes? When was the last time you visited the dentist? When are you going on vacation? When will the project be completed? When did you start your current job? Our next question word is where, asking about place. Here are some questions. Where do you live? Where is the nearest coffee shop? Where did you go on your last vacation? Where can I find a gas station? Where was the movie filmed? Where did I put my sunglasses? Where have you been? Where is your favorite place to relax? Where did you buy that jacket? Where would you like to eat tonight? The question word why asks about reason or motive. For example, why did you choose this career? Why is the sky blue? Why do people procrastinate? Why should we recycle? Why is my car engine making that funny noise? Why did you move to this area? Why can't you come to the party? Why wasn't the project done on time? Why haven't you done your homework? Why not? That question, why not, can be used in two ways. One is when someone makes a negative statement like, I wouldn't want to live in New York City, and you want to know the reason, so you ask them, why not? And why not can also be used as a way of saying yes, or there is nothing preventing this. For example, someone asks, would you like a glass of wine? And you reply, sure, why not? Meaning, yes, there's no reason I shouldn't have a glass of wine. Next, we have questions with how, to ask about method, the way to do something. Like, how do you tie a knot? How can I improve my time management skills? How do you take your coffee? This question means, do you want milk or no milk, sugar or no sugar? How does that machine work? How can I learn a new language? How do you make chocolate chip cookies? How can I cook a perfect steak? How do you change a flat tire? How can I reduce stress in my life? How will he get around with a broken leg? Questions with whose ask about possession. To whom does this object belong? For example, whose book is this? Whose car is parked in my driveway? Whose idea was it to have a picnic? Whose turn is it to clean the kitchen? Whose dog is barking loudly? Whose signature is on the contract? Whose responsibility is it to fix the leak? Whose phone keeps ringing during the meeting? Whose decision was it to cancel the event? Whose house are we visiting tonight? Our next question word is which. Here are some examples of questions using it. Which color do you prefer, red or blue? Which restaurant serves the best pizza in town? Which route should we take to get there? Which movie should we watch tonight? Which book are you reading right now? Which team won the Super Bowl last year? Which car should I buy, the sedan or the SUV? Which flower is your favorite, roses or daisies? Which school did you graduate from? Which option is the most cost-effective? Now we'll look at questions with how many, which we use to ask about quantities of countable nouns. How many books did you read last year? How many people attended the conference? How many days were you out sick? How many teaspoons are in a tablespoon? How many countries are there in Africa? How many students are in your class? How many hours of sleep do you get on average? How many planets are in our solar system? How many siblings do you have? How many gifts do you give at Christmas? Similarly, we use how much to ask about amounts of uncountable nouns. For example, how much does a gallon of milk cost? That's asking how much money. How much is a plane ticket to Europe? How much time do you spend on social media each day? How much coffee do you drink? How much butter do we need for this recipe? How much experience does he have in this industry? How much homework do your kids have? How much research has been done in this area? How much damage was caused by the earthquake? How much luggage are you taking to the airport? Well, those were a lot of example questions. Now, can you create your own example with each of these question words? Who, what, when, where, why, how many, how much, whose? That's your challenge for today. And remember to download today's lesson guide by clicking on the link in the video description. I have a question for you. What are you doing to improve your English every day? Watching YouTube videos is definitely helpful, but if you want to make even more progress, I highly recommend joining one of my courses at espressoenglish.net, because then you'll get a structure and a plan to improve your English step by step in just about 10 minutes a day. Visit espressoenglish.net to see all my courses on grammar, vocabulary, phrasal verbs, speaking, listening, and much more.